Welcome to Kansas, gateway to Oz. Under the rainbow, this is where it was. Hollyhocks and red ripe tomatoes, hand-churned homemade ice cream. Let me tell you, Kansas is more than tornadoes. It's the best part of Dorothy's
Today on Around
dream.
Kansas, our first story is about Wyatt Earp, a name that looms large from the Wild West. Next, learn the history of popcorn and meet Loveland Acres Gourmet Popcorn from Clyde, Kansas. Then we learn about our featured From the Land of Kansas business and the internationally known artist Blackbear Bosin. We'll wrap up with a poem from our Poet Lariat, Ron Wilson. Closed captioning brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff, Progress, powered by Kansas farmers. Around Kansas, brought to you by Tarwater Farm and Home. Come on by, we'll treat you like family.
Welcome back to Around Kansas. I'm Deb Beisel. Few names loom larger in the Wild West than Wyatt Earp, and even young kids hopefully are familiar with the story of Tombstone and the shootout at the OK Corral in 1881. There have been few scenes in American history that have been more written about, more talked about, more interpreted in books and movies. You know, before Wyatt Earp went to Tombstone, he spent a lot of time, a decade nearly, in Kansas. The 1870s, the Earps were all over the place. Now, the Earp family had moved to Lamar, Missouri. This was, you know, back in the day when everybody was headed west. And Nicholas Earp, Wyatt's dad, is actually, his roots are in the mountains of North Carolina. But the family had moved from Iowa down to Lamar, Missouri, and then the cattle towns were booming in Kansas. So all these young men, the Earp brothers, all 6 of them, saw opportunity in Kansas. Now, Wyatt's older brothers, Virgil, James, and Newton, had served in the Union Army during the Civil War. Wyatt was too young, and he kept running away and trying to join, and every time he'd run away, his dad would have to go after him and bring him back. So that kid was spoiling for a fight or some action, and he would soon find that in Kansas. The brothers settled for a while in Wichita. They were in Newton for a while. Wyatt worked a variety of things. Might have hunted buffalo for a while. He may have worked as a bouncer for his brother, who had a saloon and brothel. But eventually he winds up in Dodge City. And in Dodge City, he has a couple of stints as a lawman there. And Dodge City in the 1870s, everybody's there. Bat Masterson, Luke Short, Dog Kelly is the mayor. And there's some of us of a certain age who actually grew up with the TV series that had Dog Kelly and the Bat Masterson and all those characters portrayed in the TV series. While Wyatt, of course, is known for that famous shootout, one of the reasons that he was effective as a lawman and one of the reasons that they wanted to hire him is because he could settle disputes without a gun. He was actually a pretty good boxer. And so there were a lot of times that he could defend himself without resorting to drawing a gun. And Wyatt just had a set of eyes. He could look at people, and he had a commanding presence. So he could put people in their place or calm a situation without resorting to the use of the gun. So ironically, that's what made him effective and desirable as a lawman. When you go to Dodge City, of course, Wyatt Earp Boulevard is the main drag, and you've got that wonderful statue of Wyatt there. But remember, it wasn't just in Dodge City that he made his claim to fame. He's all over the place in Kansas, and lots more to be written and discovered on the legend of Wyatt Earp. We'll be right back.
This hog is head over hoof for meal made from U.S. soybeans. Now, one hog isn't that impressive, but suppose we add another, and another, and another. Before long, you've got billions of hungry customers around the world all clamoring for the same thing. our soybeans. Learn more about the billion-dollar appetite of animal agriculture at beyondtheelevator.com. Brought to you by America's soybean farmers and their checkoff.
Tallgrass Commodities offers producers bulk commodities at a reasonable price with reliable service throughout the whole Midwest. To find out more about Tallgrass Commodities, visit tallgrass.us or call 785-494-8484.
When your living depends on agriculture, you can depend on KFRM 550 AM. If you're in the southwest three-fourths of Kansas or the northern half of Oklahoma, catch us at 550 AM on the radio dial. But if that isn't you, listen on your cell phone at TuneIn Radio or on your computer at KFRM.com. We promise to keep you informed, entertained, and company as you go through your day. KFRM 550 AM, the voice of the plains. We would like to join your management team.
This segment is brought to you by Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego, just a short drive down the Yellow Brick Road. Good morning, I'm Frank Chafin, and this is Around Kansas. This morning, we're going to talk about popcorn, but not your everyday run-of-the-mill popcorn. But first, a little bit of history on popcorn. It's been around for about 4,000 years. In fact, they found ears of corn in the so-called bat caves in Central America. 4,000-year-old popcorn, and yes, it popped. Also in 1650, the Spanish found the Peruvian Indians enjoying popcorn as a treat. And of course, the Aztecs used popcorn in a lot of ceremonies and even made jewelry and necklaces out of the many colorful varieties. Moving ahead a few years, Charles Cretors, he was the man who invented the first mobile popcorn popper, and he did that for the Columbian Exposition in Chicago in 1893. Then Percy Spencer of Raytheon, you know, that's the company that during World War II developed the magnetron, which was essentially the operating system for the radar used in World War II. When the war ended, the government said, Raytheon, we don't need all of those thousands of magnetrons that you have. So Percy was trying to figure out, well, what do we do with all of these things? And of course, the story, and you may know it, a candy bar that he had in his pocket in the lab near one of the magnetrons melted. And he thought, that's interesting. So he had an assistant bring in some popcorn kernels, and he put the kernels near the magnetron, and of course they popped, and guess what? The radar range was invented, now known as the microwave, and of course microwave popcorn followed that. But today we're not going to talk about the everyday run-of-the-mill microwave popcorn. No, because here in Kansas there is a gourmet popcorn that is grown. It's done at the Loveland Acres Popcorn Farm in, of all places, Clyde. Now, Clyde, Kansas is a bit north and a little bit west of Manhattan in north central Kansas. It's a very small town. And in 2008, Lance and Megan Norbert made the decision to return to their roots in north central Kansas to the family farm. Now, the family farm had grown popcorn for some time, and Lance grew up in the popcorn growing community. Okay, well, he also worked for the Department of Agriculture for a number of years and has a degree in agronomy. So on the family farm, he decided to plant another variety of popcorn. And so in 2008, on the small plot in Clyde, Kansas, he planted his first crop. And lo and behold, it became a very, very good popcorn. And we say gourmet because, you know, most popcorn, when you pop it, the hull bursts and this pops out, okay? Well, theirs is a popcorn that when it pops, the hull shatters. And so it's virtually hull-free. And so the popcorn is much more fluffy, not like this. This is microwave popcorn and simply a prop here this morning. So they also don't pop the corn and sell it in bags. They sell the popcorn kernels, and you can order them online, or you can find the bags of the gourmet popcorn in some stores and gourmet shops around the state. They have varieties like Shaman's Blue, white gourmet, ruby red gourmet, and confetti gourmet. And so you can pop it and eat it, or apparently you can decorate with it because it really is pretty colorful. You can find them online at Loveland Acres Popcorn at yahoo.com. That's the name of their farm, Loveland Acres. It's in Clyde, Kansas. You can go online and you can order there. And like I say, you can also find it in a lot of stores around the state of Kansas. So another great product right here in Kansas. It's Loveland Acres Gourmet Popcorn. Get some, try some. It's grown in Kansas. Isn't that wonderful? This is Frank Chafin. I'll see you somewhere around Kansas.
Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture, represents grassroots agriculture. The state's largest and most powerful farm organization stands up for its members through leadership development, agriculture education, legal defense, environmental advocacy, farm safety, and risk management. Members also enjoy money-saving benefits. To join our organization today or to learn more, go to www.kfb.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter.
I'm Dr. Frank Lyons, a physician here at Kansas Regenerative Medicine Center. As one of the only standalone stem cell centers in the U.S., we use your stem cells as therapy for arthritis and some autoimmune diseases.
I'm Dr. Andrew Poe. Here at Kansas Regenerative Medicine Center, utilizing the latest technology under strict protocols, we're able to harvest your stem cells from your own fat to treat a variety of medical conditions. The best part about it is, it's a same-day surgical procedure and requires no general anesthesia.
Buying a car shouldn't be this hard. And at Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego, it isn't. It's actually awesome. Whether you want a new or used car or truck, Toby's team can make the deal. Even if you want to custom order a new car or truck, Toby's team can make the deal. See Toby's team at Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego. We're awesome.
The Kansas Wheat Innovation Center in Manhattan is rediscovering ways to get improved varieties and new genetics in the hands of farmers faster. Grower-led and checkoff-funded research initiatives are bringing about positive change. This grassroots leadership provides a strong voice in Topeka and Washington, D.C. Now is the time to partner with Kansas Wheat in moving wheat forward. Kansas Wheat Commission and Kansas Association of Wheat Growers. Farmers investing in their future and yours. Log on to rediscoverwheat.org.
Around Kansas, brought to you by the Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers.
From the Land of Kansas is a trademark program that helps Kansas businesses grow, produce, process, or manufacture Kansas products. Let's meet Grillside Barbecue in Overland Park. Grillside Barbecue started as a homemade sauce for family gatherings, but when the demand became overwhelming, it was time to go public. After years of researching and testing many different flavors of Kansas City barbecue, Grillside was born. All natural, gluten-free, and with no high fructose corn syrup, this award-winning barbecue sauce is great on meats, vegetables, and pretty much anything that needs some zing. Grillside offers 3 flavors, including Suburban Sweet, a sauce that's tasty, well-balanced, and sweet enough for the kids, Downtown Heat, a sweet smoky sauce with just a bit of heat, and Hometown Hot, a sauce that pairs up 7 different peppers for a real punch. For mouth-watering recipes and to find a retailer near you, visit grillsidebarbecue.com.
American innovation is being driven in places you might not expect by people like Brent Hayek, an Oklahoma family farmer, who recently set a world land speed record in a Ford Super Duty pickup truck powered by renewable B20 biodiesel. Advanced performance is here, now, putting America on the fast track to more jobs and energy independence. Biodiesel, America's advanced biofuel.
Tallgrass Commodities offers producers bulk commodities at a reasonable price with reliable service throughout the whole Midwest. To find out more about Tallgrass Commodities, visit tallgrass.us or call 785-494-8484.
Tarwater Farm and Home is a nearly 40-year-old local family-owned business. Clothing for work and play, seeds and feeds, boots, toys for the kids, the tools you need for around the home and farm, and a service department to keep them in top running order. It's a big store, so when you have some time, take some time to see what they have for your farm and home. Tarwater's everyday pricing is like others' sale prices. When you need it, they've got it. Tarwater Farm and Home, 4107 North Topeka Boulevard.
No matter where, no matter why, the Veterinary Health Center at Kansas State University is committed to providing quality patient care to animals and exceptional customer service to their owners. From routine checkups to emergency and specialty care, our world-renowned specialists and experienced professionals are here to discover, to teach, and to heal.
Let us know.
How can I help?
How can we help?
Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture, represents grassroots agriculture. The state's largest and most powerful farm organization stands up for its members through leadership development, agriculture education, legal defense, environmental advocacy, farm safety, and risk management. Members also enjoy money-saving benefits. To join our organization today or to learn more, go to www.kfb.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter.
Around Kansas, brought to you by Santa Fe Trail Meats in Overbrook, or visit us online at sftmeats.com.
Welcome to Around Kansas. I'm Deb Beisel. Even though he was born in Oklahoma, the Kiowa Comanche artist Blackbear Bosin adopted Wichita as his hometown, and of course one of Wichita's most iconic works of art was done by Blackbear Bosin. The Keeper of the Plains is a 44-foot tall steel sculpture that embodies the essence of the American Indians' relationship to the Great Plains. And it's just an incredible work of art. If you've ever been to Wichita, you can't avoid seeing it. He was just a remarkable man. He, born in 1921 in Andarko, Oklahoma, most of his early surroundings were spent in the Comanche community. And he attended St. Patrick's Mission Schools, and that's where he became exposed to the work of the 5 Kiowa painters. He started painting, and he never ceased until he died August 9th, 1980. Now, when he was going to a trade school, he sold his paintings for $2.50. And he left Oklahoma to go to the Marine Corps during World War II. And while serving, he was given the opportunity to hold his first one-man show, actually in Honolulu. It was a sellout. When he came out of the Marine Corps, he went to Wichita, and that was his home for thereafter, and he left an incredible mark on that community. And everywhere you go throughout the community of Wichita, he was recognized, but then he was recognized not only nationally, but internationally. He was featured in magazines, and he was commissioned by the Franklin Mint to produce a metallic historical series by the U.S. Department of the Interior, and to create several paintings. Besides being recognized as an artist, Blackbear Bosin held executive positions as the Mid-America All-Indian Center Board of Trustees, the Indian Center Museum's Acquisition Board of Wichita, and the Kansas Arts Commission. He was made a Fellow of International Arts and Letters in Switzerland. And one of his most noted honors was he was the governor's artist when Governor Robert Bennett was in office in 1977. Blackbear Bosin, one of those incredible Kansas people that you'll want to find out more about. We'll be right back. Remember what a great time we had at the Kansas Music Hall of Fame last year? Well, it's that time again. Mark your calendars, March 7th at Liberty Hall In Lawrence, the 10th annual induction ceremony into the Kansas Music Hall of Fame. These are your honorees this year: Gary Winston Apple from Kansas City, the Benders from Wichita, Priscilla Bowman, Kansas City, Dan Crary from Kansas City, Dan Falley from Topeka, Liverpool, a Beatles tribute band from Kansas City, the Lonnie Ray Band from Lawrence, Protocol from Topeka, Craig Trinan from Topeka. The Director's Award goes to Vic Damon from Kansas City. The second Director's Award goes to the Coon Sanders Original Nighthawk Orchestra, also from Kansas City. And the Bob Hapgood Award this year, Kenny Starr from Burlingame, Kansas. If you'll go online to kansasmusichallofFame.org, you can find ticket information, or you can contact me. This is a fantastic event. You know, our greatest export in Kansas is talent. And it's also the greatest thing we need to focus on keeping at home. I'll see you there.
This is the fast track to more jobs and America's energy independence. Advanced performance is here now. Biodiesel, America's advanced biofuel.
Soil is the life of a farm, and for 25 years, SureCrop Liquid Crop Nutrition has helped growers produce abundant quality crops while preserving and improving the soils they steward. SureCrop offers complete soil and plant analysis with cropping recommendations, delivery direct to your on-farm storage, and quality crop nutrition custom blended for your field. Choose SureCrop for the assurance of excellence for your soil. Call today or visit their website for more information.
Hello friends, I'm Ernie Rodina.
And I'm Dawn Dawson with the Better Horses Radio Show.
For over 9 years, we've been bringing the Better Horses Radio Show to markets all across the Midwest. We talk about God, lots about horses.
We talk about cows, we talk about horse health, we talk to top trainers, and we even talk about Roy Rogers.
We're having a blast with Better Horses Radio Show and would love to take it to a market near you.
So visit our website at betterhorsesradio.com and let us or your local radio station know you'd like to hear it in your area.
The Better Horses Radio Show is unbelievable.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
Around Kansas, brought to you by Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture. Go to kfb.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter.
Howdy folks, I'm Ron Wilson, Poet Lariat. There are many great things that come from our cowboy heritage. One of their very simplest is one we find on our feet. This poem is entitled Building Boots. Many things have been invented and not all have taken root, but one of the great inventions was the simple cowboy boot. The cowboy boot is something that won't cross most people's minds. They think it's just a footwear style like all the other kinds. But cowboy boots are special because they're made a certain way, and that is what I want to explain to you today. The first cowboy boots were made after 1865 to be used by the drovers on their great cattle drives. They were made out of cowhide, which is what they had on hand, and these boots were shaped to suit the cowboys' work demands. They were made heavy duty so that they were good for every season, and every feature of the boot is for a certain reason. For example, why do cowboy boots have round or pointed toes? To get in and out of stirrups fast when a horse goes. The heels were angled sharply so they could dig into the ground when a cowboy ropes a calf and it tries to run around. Of course, the boots were made of good old cowhide leather to protect the feet and legs and keep them warm in cold weather. The uppers of the boot protect the lower leg, you see, from a snake bite or a sticker from a thorny locust tree. The stitching on the leather isn't just for the design, but it helps stiffen the leather for protection sure and fine. So you see, there is a reason for the way the boot is made, but if we don't remember, then that history will fade. The styles of boots have changed with time as fashions ebb and flow, but that's the reason for the first design those years ago. The modern cowboy still wears boots. He likes the wear and feel, but his town boots may have roper toes and a lower walking heel. So let's celebrate this element of our early Western roots and thank those designers of the early cowboy boots. And one more thing, another benefit most people never catch. When I wear boots, no one will know. My socks don't have to match. Happy trails.
Closed captioning brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff, Progress, powered by Kansas farmers.
This is where it was. Hollyhocks and red ripe tomatoes, hand-churned homemade ice cream. Let me tell you, Kansas is more than tornadoes. We're the best part of Dorothy Stream. We're the best part of Dorothy